What's good, people? Samurai Lee here. I'm back for another fight talk. Yesterday the announcement was made by Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Sport that Chris Eubank Jr. will defend his British middleweight title against Tom Doran at the O2 on the 25th of June. We know that's the card that Anthony Joshua will defend his IBF World Heavyweight title against Dominic Breazeale. It's also the card George Groves, Martin Murray, Conor Ben's on it. Really good show, and I think that's a fantastic fight to add to the bill and really bringing that pay-per-view up there now. You know, Tom Doran, undefeated fighter. His last fight was against Luke Keeler in probably fight of the year so far in our country at least. Excellent fight, an excellent fighter. Tom Doran is. Is he strong enough? And is he got the power? He believes he does. He believes he has the power to take Chris Eubank out. I was at the press conference myself yesterday. I spoke to Tom Doran. He believes the better opponent in Chris Eubank will bring out the better Tom Doran. Interesting to see. Chris Eubank Jr. and his father are looking steps beyond him already. It's, you know, they're looking at this as a stepping stone and nothing more. They were talking about Golovkin in the press conference. They also mentioned James DeGale, who's a weight above. So they're very, very confident. You know, they haven't avenged the loss of Billy Joe Saunders. That's another world title fight that's a possibility. So there's a lot of possibilities for Chris Eubank Jr. I believe he needs to be with Matchroom to get the big fights made, as do they apparently. But it is only a 2-fight deal for now. Hopefully he'll come through in you know, the bigger fights are available should he win those fights. On the other hand, if Tom Doran can shock everybody and get a win against Chris Eubank, that will excel. You know, that itself will push him forward, and his name will carry a lot of weight. So it should be a really interesting fight. Massive underdog Tom Doran, as we know, but you know, it's one if he can step up and he believes he can, which I like to see. He spoke very confidently. It should be a really good fight. Going on to this weekend, tomorrow in London, we've got David Haye on the Haye Day 2 fighting the Cobra. You know, let's be honest, if it goes longer than 2 rounds, I'll be surprised. Sometimes fighters who have been fairly inactive like to try and get rounds under their belt. David Haye, I think, has too much power for that. I believe he gets in there, he gets the Cobra out of there. If he's, as I say, if it makes it to the 3rd round, I'll be surprised. Shannon Briggs is also on the card. I have no idea who he's fighting. Alexander Dimitrenko was the name touted about for weeks. A few days ago, that name was changed. And now the weigh-ins are coming today, and BoxRec has it as a completely different opponent. I think we'll see who turns up at the weigh-ins today and find out who Shannon Briggs is fighting, because it's not going to be an opponent that is probably going to test Briggs at all. They want the Briggs-Haye fight later in the year. It makes sense for them both to get the victory tomorrow night, and I believe they both will do with relative ease. On the other side of the world tomorrow is another heavyweight bout. Joseph Parker and Carlos Takam in an IBF eliminator for Anthony Joshua's title, as we know. I think that's a good fight. That's the best fight of the 3, definitely. I believe Joseph Parker, will come through on points. Tough fight. Carlos Takam's been around a long time. Parker's still only 24 years old, so it's a tough fight for him, and it's his first step into a little bit higher level category fighter that he's going to be coming up against. I believe he'll come through the fight, maybe a late stoppage or on points, but I think Parker gets the job done. Next weekend we've got a lot to look forward to. Tony Bellew looking for a world title again at Goodison Park on the Sunday, with the Smith brothers all on that card. The night before in Scotland, Ricky Burns, Anthony Ogogo, Conor Ben. Great weekend next weekend of British boxing, and there's also a UFC to go over as well. So a lot to look forward to next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment as well if you'd like to. Thanks for watching.